Nandapriya Das. I would like to talk about a story from Sixth Canto of Srimad-Bhagavatam. This is a story about Vṛtrāsura. Vṛtrāsura is composed of two names, Vṛtra and Asura. Asura means the demon. Yes. How to? Yes. Okay. This one. Yes. All right. Very good. Yes. I think it's an absolutely amazing story. If you look at the Srimad-Bhagavatam, Sixth Canto, which is called the Prescribed Duties for Humankind, in translation of Srila Prabhupada, you can see that the story of Vṛtrāsura actually takes like from chapter 7 to chapter 14 or something. More than half of this canto is actually dedicated to story, which is, I think it's quite amazing. It's quite complex story, I would say. So let's begin. I hope I can remember all these details because it's quite complicated, as I said. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Here you can see on the screen that have to just open it here as well. The quote from the purport by Srila Prabhupada to the first canto, first chapter, shloka number 1. Some Mayavadi scholars argue that Srimad-Bhagavatam was not compiled by Sri Vyasadeva, and some of them suggest that this book is a modern creation written by someone named Vopadev. In order to refute such meaningless arguments, Sri Sridhar Swami points out that there is reference to the Bhagavatam in many of the oldest Puranas. The first shloka of the Bhagavatam begins with the Gayatri Mantra. There is reference to this in the Matsya Purana, which is the oldest Purana. In that Purana, it is said with reference to the Gayatri Mantra in the Bhagavatam that there are many narrations of spiritual instructions beginning with the Gayatri Mantra. And there is a story of Vṛtrāsura. Anyone who makes a gift of this great work in a full moon day attains to the highest perfection of life by returning to Godhead. Well, Vṛtrāsura, story of Vṛtrāsura is something very special. It defines Bhagavatam, basically, one of the things. So you see, Bhagavatam is not a new creation because it is mentioned in the oldest Purana called Matsya Purana, and other Puranas as well. Anyway, so it makes it even more interesting to talk about Vṛtrāsura, isn't it? Yes. So let's see. All right, yes. Well, just to make a short opening to this, to the class, so I would like to speak one shloka from Bhagavatam. Again, Sixth Canto, Shloka 11 chapter called Transcendental Qualities of Vṛtrāsura, and Shloka is number 26. Ajata Paksha Ivamatram Hokoga Stanyam Yatha Vatsara Kshut Artha Priyam Priyeva Vishitam Vishana Mano Aravindaksha Didrikshate Tvam. A lotus-eyed Lord, as baby birds that have not yet developed their wings always look for their mother to return and feed them. As small calves tied with ropes await anxiously the time of milking, when they will be allowed to drink the milk of their mothers. Or as a morose wife whose husband is away from home always longs for him to return and satisfy her in all respects, I always yearn for the opportunity to render direct service unto you. Yes. There's a purport too. A pure devotee always yearns to associate personally with the Lord and render service unto Him. The example given in this regard are most appropriate examples given in this regard. A small baby bird is practically never satisfied except when the mother bird comes to feed it. A small calf is not satisfied unless allowed to suck the milk from the mother's udder. And a chaste, devoted wife whose husband is away from home is never satisfied until she has the association of her beloved husband. I think it's just so poetic and so wonderful. I don't know, this shloka strikes me all the time I read it. And this is spoken by a demon called Vṛtrāsura. How can it be? Isn't it? It's really amazing. So now the story unfolds. And it's quite long. I tried to make it as easy as possible. Well, I just picked up some illustrations just to make it visually easy to understand. Well, it all starts by Lord Indra, the king of heaven. Once he was actually in his assembly, in his heavenly planet, and very much absorbed in the opulence, and he was just worshipped and everything. He was very he forgot that suddenly in the assembly his spiritual master Brihaspati walked in. So he didn't see him, not because he wanted to offend him, but he didn't see him. So when Brihaspati came in, and you should rise up, everybody should rise up, but Indra didn't see that. So he didn't greet him. Brihaspati became very angry and left the place and went away. They could not find him. Indra, suddenly he actually came to his senses and he wanted to find him and say, excuse me, but he could not find him. So it was a problem because then Indra had to suffer from the sinful reactions. And he could have, anyway, so he actually engaged somebody called Vishwarup, who was son of Tvashta. And he was a Brahmana, and he was, nobody could make sacrifices for him. So Vishwarup was engaged by him instead of Brihaspati. And, so this is how it goes. And then Vishwarup was actually the son of a great Brahmana called Tvashta. For father's side, he was a devotee. But from mother's side, he had this Asura, demoniac heritage. So when he was offering oblations to the demigods for the satisfaction of the Supreme, so secretly he was offering the results to the demons as well. So when Indra found this out, he had 3 heads. He cut all the 3 of his heads. He killed the Brahmana, basically. So one of the heads was, just to drink somaras, another one was to drink wine, and the third one was to eat something. So, and all the 3 heads became different things, like falconic partridge, one of them, the other one was a sparrow, and the third one is a common partridge. It's a different bird. So very mystical. We have no clue how it could happen. Anyway, and Tvashta, the father of Vishwarup, was very angry. And he wanted to create a demon who would kill Indra. So he was chanting some mantras and doing some sacrifice, and he was chanting mantras. And there was this passage, or just 2 words, Indra Shatru. Indra Shatru means the enemy. So he wanted to create somebody who was the enemy of Indra. He wanted to kill Indra. But he, instead of making it short, he made a long, pronounced it in a long way, in a short, instead of short. The meaning became that he created somebody whom Indra was the enemy. He was not Indra's enemy, Indra was his enemy. In other words, instead of he should kill Indra, this demon would be killed by Indra. So it was totally mixed up. Let's see where we are. So when he made this sacrifice, in one corner, southern corner, I think, well, this is Vishwarup, who was killed. And, well, from the sacrificial arena came such a demon. He was so big and so fierce. It was just everybody was afraid. And he covered the whole area. You know, the name Vṛtra means somebody who covers everything. So he covered the whole place, basically. So, and Vṛtrāsura, this is, demon who covers the whole thing. So he was huge. He was like this. There is a huge description of him in one of the chapters. So, and, when he was born, Indra's weapons could not kill him. Indra knew that. He could not kill him. There was no way. So he actually approached Lord Vishnu together with the demigods. They actually came to began to pray to Lord Vishnu, and Lord Vishnu tells them that there is actually only one way you can defeat Vṛtrāsura. This is if you approach a sage called Dadichi, who is Jivan Mukta. You know what Jivan Mukta is? Jivan Mukta is somebody who is already liberated in this life. Jivan Mukta, he's liberated already. So you can go to him, ask him for his body. He has to give up his body to you. And then you can, you have to make, well, we cannot go directly to him. You have to ask Ashwini Kumaras to do that for, because he liked them very much. So you have to have medium by Ashwini Kumaras. And then from his bones, then this weapon should be made from his bones. So when then they go to the Adichi Muni and tell him, well, we need your body, you have to give up your body. So the Adichi Muni kind of laughs at them. So funny, really? What, for one's own benefit, everybody is just ready to do any strange thing, even asking me to give up my body. So the Adichi Muni he said, well, on the other hand, this body will be eaten by jackals at one point anyway. I have to give it up in any case. So why not give it to you to use it for a good purpose? So the Adichi Muni gives up his body, and then they make a kind of some kind of mix, whatever. They have to make this weapon from his bones. So Ashwini Kumaras, they are like physicians of the demigods. They made this, they changed something in his body, and they made this astra, or weapon, a thunderbolt. And Indra was given this thunderbolt. So now he was ready to fight with Vṛtrāsura at one point. Then Satya Yuga ends and Treta Yuga begins. We are talking about nobody knows when it was or where it was, which planet. We should not speculate because it's not specified. Which Satya Yuga, nobody knows. Anyway, so when Satya Yuga ends and Treta Yuga starts, then there is a huge battle between demigods and demons. So, and then, demigods were quite powerful at that time, and, demons felt that they would be defeated. So they actually, they flee from, they left the battlefield. They were so afraid that they actually, all of them ran away. And then only Vṛtrāsura was left on the battlefield. Then Vṛtrāsura tells his demons, his soldiers or his friends, whatever. So he tells them that, oh, you are such cowards. What are you doing? Are you afraid of dying? You should either die or be victorious on the battlefield. Instructs them as real Kshatriya that, it's a very glorious thing to die on the battlefield. So you can get lots of material benefits because of that. So you should not run away. But, anyway, so nobody came back. So he fought alone with the demigods. So much that, everyone was just like, demigods, well, what's going on? He is so powerful. And then Then Indra's turn came. Yeah, you see, Vṛtrāsura fights with Indra. Indra sits on his elephant, Airavata, and then it says Vṛtrāsura struck him with his club or something, or there are different episodes. And then Airavata and Indra, they flew like 14 yojanas or something, 14 miles or something away. They just really a big kick. So, poor Airavata starts bleeding from his tusk or something, and it was just terrible. And then, he was so powerful. But then he feels that, Indra is not able to fight back because he's afraid too. Well, then he starts telling him, you should fight with me. You should kill me. Please use your weapon. Use your astra. And then, it's just huge drama and everything. And then, yes, Indra realizes it has something, because Vṛtrāsura tells him that actually the Supreme Lord wants you to win. And then he kind of believes that, and he strikes Vṛtrāsura. He cuts one of his arms, and then with one arm he struck him back, Indra back, and it's just going on like this really fierce fight. And then he has no arms. Vṛtrāsura, both arms were cut, and he was like flying like a mountain, which was struck by thunderbolt of Indra, it says like that. So, and then he has no arms, and then he just opens his mouth so big that, he swallows Airavata and Indra. And then Indra is just really afraid, but then he realizes, I have this astra, I have this thunderbolt. And while he's in the abdomen, in the belly of Vṛtrāsura, I know it's a real thriller, I but then he cuts the abdomen and he comes out. And yes, then Indra starts cutting his head off. And it says it took him 360 days to do that, 1 year. So it was a really big job. So Indra has to cut the head of him. So finally he does. And then Indra is victorious. And so at one point, when Maharaj Parikshit hears all these things, he just says, but wait a minute, who is this Vṛtrāsura? I mean, how can it happen that... But the point was that, I forgot to mention, when he talks to Indra, he tells him, Indra, why don't you kill me? I want to be killed. Why? Because you will get all the material opulence. You will get all these things. And please, welbekomme, as we say in Danish. I mean, just be my guest. But kill me, because then I'll go back to my Lord Sankarshan. My God, Vṛtrāsura, the biggest demon. So says things like that. And then, so he actually wanted to be killed. So it's just amazing, isn't it? So then Maharaj Parikshit says, but who is this demon Vṛtrāsura? What's the story behind it? I mean, I'm just totally amazed. And then Shukadeva Goswami says, well, now we have to hear. I heard this story from my father, Vedavyas. And once upon a time, there was a great king, Chitraketu. So, next slide, I think. Oh, well, this is a story when, after that, Indra he's chased by his sinful reaction in the form of a ugly lady, really, I mean... So he just runs everywhere. And while he's out of his office, somebody has to be in charge. I mean, he has a big office. I mean, he's in charge of the whole, all the heavenly planets. Then his secretary, Nahusha, he takes over. Indra's wife's name is Shachi Devi. Well, Lord Chaitanya's mother, but it's two different personalities, of course, Shachi Devi. And Nahusha, And it's like 1,000 heavenly years or something he's off the office. So Nahusha somehow becomes attached to Sachidevi, has an affair with her, whatever. But then anyway, he comes back, Indra, and things like that. So everything is in proper place. So, but then, I mean, we go to Chitraketu's story. Well, Chitraketu's story doesn't start there. Anyway, Chitraketu was a huge, very pious king who had 10 million wives. Yeah, yes, sorry. Really many. But he had no child. No, not at all. I mean, he was kind of cursed or something. Even if you have so many wives, so he had some problems. So anyway, he didn't have any children. So then he asks Angira Muni. Angira Muni comes to him, a great sage. And Angira Muni, he satisfies him and asks him, well, I want to have a child. And Angira Muni gives him some kind of prasad, I think rice or something, cooked rice. And then, well, give it to one of your wives. And he gives it to Krita Duty, I think, a wife's name, one of the wives. And then but then he tells him, the Muni tells him, that you will get a child, a son. And his name would be Harsha Shoka. Anyone knows what it means? Harsha means, yes. Harsha means, of course, happiness, and Shoka means distress. So he will give you both. I mean, Indians, of course, know. It means that, he gives you both happiness and distress. So first is, everybody's very happy and things like that. But then wives, different wives, all the other wives, like 99 something thousand million wives are quite envious of Krita Duty, and then actually poison the child. And the child, one day they found him dead in his bed. So everybody is totally finished. Parents are really unhappy, of course, and cry like anything. And then suddenly, Narada Muni and Angira Muni, they come to him and start talking about, body, soul, relationships. All these relationships are like father and mother, son and daughter, whatever. It's just false. It's not real. We are playing these relationships. But now it was time for him, for this soul in the body of your son, to leave this world and go to another one. And then actually here in this, you can see that Angira Muni tells him, it's actually me. He cannot recognize who these sages are. He says, well, it's me, Angira Muni. Do you remember I gave you the benediction to have a son? This one is Narada Muni. He's totally confused and totally grief-stricken. So he says that, then they're bringing the son back. And this is his dead son, gets the chance to kind of, come back to this body and then speak to his parents. And, all these relationships are just like that. And don't worry, I'm not dead. I'm just, I have to move on and things like that. And Chitraketu realizes that. And he becomes like self-realized. Then time goes and Chitraketu has become very, very powerful again. And then he flies on his huge airplane. And once he flies over Mount Kailash, where Lord Shiva and Parvati are sitting and, in front of different sages and saints. But there, Lord Shiva is kissing his wife. He flies on, on the top of them, flies over. And then he thinks, I think there is a photo. No, this is when he becomes self-realized. He is taken to Lord Anantadev, Sankarshan, and in the company of 4 Kumaras. And then, Chitraketu becomes perfect because he sees the Lord face to face and offers him wonderful prayers and things like that. So this is the episode. And after that, he sees Lord Shiva. See, yeah, on the top he's flying on his airplane, and Lord Shiva sits down there, and he starts laughing at Lord Shiva. I thought I was self-realized, but I thought that you are even more self-realized than I was, but you are kissing your wife, ha ha ha, and he thinks that this is totally ridiculous, and he makes fun of Lord Shiva. And then Parvati becomes furious. How dare you, say things like that to my husband, Lord Shiva? He is the biggest yogi, biggest devotee. He is, really, of course, Lord Shiva. There is no better Vaishnava in Lord Shiva. So how can you say that? And then, I curse you, you would become a demon next life. And then Lord Shiva says, what have you done? No, sorry. When she said that, then Chitraketu realized, I have done something wrong. And he says, Mother, please accept my obeisances. I'm so sorry I have offended Lord Shiva. I'm so stupid. I'm so low. Well, I gladly accept your curse. I don't mind being born as a demon or go to hell, whatever, if you so desire. And then comes the climax of the story. Well, this is one of the shlokas called Muktanam api Siddhanam Narayana Parayana. Sudurlapa Prashantatma Kotish api Mahamune. It means that, out of many millions of self-realized souls, maybe one is Narayana Parayana. Narayana Para. Narayana Para means pure devotee of Narayana, totally fixed on Narayana. He said that. I think it's Shukadeva Goswami who says this. Anyway, it shows that he wasn't afraid of going to hell or becoming born again. So he said, "Well, if Mother, I offended you, Lord Shiva, so I'm ready to take this curse." So then comes, yes. Narayana parasarve nakutaschana bipati svarga aparvarga narakesha pitule artha darshanam. This is spoken by Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva says, see how wonderful are devotees of Narayana, because they are not afraid of anything. For them it's the same thing. Svarga means the heaven. Apavarga is the hell. Apavarga is, I think, lower planet. Apavarga is actually liberation. And Naraka is the hell. So for them, they don't care. Liberation, be born here, there, anywhere, because they are fixed in devotion. So Lord Narayan, it's beyond the logic. We cannot understand it. This requires being Narayana Para devotee. Totally devoted to Lord Narayan. Yes, I think this is just most wonderful. And then Chitraketu was born as Vṛtrāsura. It was his last birth, because now after that one, he would go back to Lord Ananta or Sankarshan, back to Godhead. So he didn't want to stay anymore in this body. That's why he tells Indra, kill me, please, do this favor to me. I don't want to be born here anymore. Just like, Narad Muni, for example. Narad Muni, when Narad Parvat Munis, they saw these two sons of Kuvera, Nala Kuvera and Manigriv, who were just intoxicated by their, wealth and everything. And then they were naked. And when they saw the sages, they didn't care. They didn't cover their bodies. That's why they were cursed by Narad Muni to become trees, twin trees. But this curse was actually greatest benediction. Why? Because Lord Damodar saved them. Saved them by pulling the mortar through, between them. Yes, so this curse is actually turned to be the greatest benediction, because they came in direct contact with Krishna. Yes. Yes. Let's see where we are. Yes. Well, This is in short version of a very long story, which takes like 8 chapters of Sixth Canto. In a nutshell, of course. But this is such an amazing story, and I remember my Guru Maharaj. He would often talk about this during his, while he was giving the classes. How Vṛtrāsura was wonderful. How he was even much greater than Lord Indra, as if demon, he was actually the biggest devotee. Yes, this is I think I will end up here. Maybe I did it quite well. Anyway, so I think we have time for questions and answers and or comments. Anyone, please? Anything? Yes?
Maybe you could briefly summarize what is it we can learn from Vṛtrāsura.
Oh, yeah. So it's we can only follow Vṛtrāsura's footsteps. We cannot, or you can, Chitraketu, which is Vṛtrāsura. I think there are many points. There are many points. The point is that if you become Jivan Mukta, like King Chitraketu, and we become a great devotee of Vishnu, then you will be indifferent whatever happens to you. You will always be thinking about the Lord, and you are not afraid of anything. So I think this is the biggest gain, biggest benefit of this story, that it shows that But we cannot imitate this. We cannot say that I don't care. Yes, we should care. We should take really good care about our devotional service, about our practice, about chanting Hare Krishna really attentively, and becoming purified. And we may hope that one day we will reach higher points of self-realization, God-realization. Yes. Well, this is Lord Chaitanya's teaching as well, isn't it? Nathanamna janamna sundarim kavitam vajagadisha kamaya. I don't want anything, I just want pure devotion to you. Well, we cannot imitate this, as I said, but we have to become very serious about practicing devotional service and satisfying Guru Gauranga. Then we can become devotee like this. Hare Krishna. Yes?
It's more to the story. Why did Chitraketu make fun of Lord Shiva and Ma Parvati liberated? And why was it Ma Parvati giving him a curse and not Lord Shiva?
Well, Lord Shiva didn't take any offense. That's why he's Lord Shiva. He's so great. Well, this was the arrangement of the Lord. It was not really offense. I mean, he didn't mean anything. He just thought it was very funny. I mean, Chitraketu did not really offend him. Didn't have any bad intentions. In transcendental world, there is fun as well. So there's between self-realized souls, there is joking and things like that as well. So he was such a great devotee. He could make kind of joke he could be in very short terms with Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva, of course, he knew who Chitraketu was. That's why he did not take any offense. But this was the short answer is that he was it was the plan of the Lord to bring him home very soon. Jai. Well, is there any chance that we could play this video? Oh yeah, because I have just very short what you call it, reel or clip or something by Srila Prabhupada. Before we go to japa meditation.